if Shashi Tharoor, Karti Chidambaram, Manish Tiwari and others ask the same question about the electoral college, that they should know who can nominate and who can vote, shouldn't that be seen as a very, very valid question? They are seeking transparency. Isn't that something that the Congress would also want, because they would want to send that message that this election is free and fair?
Yes, Maria, first of all, we must understand how party elections are conducted in all political parties and in particular the Congress. It is not like, a Lok Sabha election or assembly election. After all, who appoints the BRO, the block returning officer, PRO, DRO, or up to, Madhusudan Mistry. They were all appointed by a Congress president, in this case being Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi. So this is a long and short of it. I think the Congress internal tussle is heading for a legal battle in courts. Remember, the optics relating to Congress, I mean, from Congress point of view, are pretty bad. And there's already a petition is there in a court of law saying that the Congress is not observing, inner party democracy. I think it's going to get murky. Because many of these people who are questioning it, I mean, they are within their rights to question it, Maria. But fact of the matter is, they have been there. Somebody's been a youth Congress president. Somebody's been in, in various positions of responsibility. So they know how organized elections are conducted.
Yes, but Sanjay Jha, likes of Karti Chidambaram and Pradyut Bardoloi are not members of the G23. So you may dismiss the members of the G23 when they seek transparency, but what about those leaders who are very much part of the Congress? They are saying, and I am quoting Karti here, he says, every election needs a well-defined and clear electoral college. The process of forming the electoral college must be clear, well-defined and transparent, and an ad hoc electoral college is no electoral college. Again, it's the same set, same words, different people, but same words.
Yeah, Maria, but I do believe that the Congress party now needs to move forward and move on. I'll make two short points. They are absolutely justified, whether it's Karti, Sashi, Manish, anyone, that the process must be transparent, and whoever are the electors or the part of the electoral college who will vote for the Congress president should be known to the contestants. That is a valid point. The second point is, I wish the Congress party, because it is holding a very crucial organizational election, I think the ramifications of this will be felt in the Indian political space, because a new leader can completely change the dynamics. I do believe the Congress party should have had an independent panel comprising of retired chief election commissioners, etc., that Rahul Gandhi had once introduced for the IYC, the Indian Youth Congress elections, around a decade ago. I thought those were steps in the right direction. Having said that, and I think I need to kind of, also advocate what I think is a more reasonable argument here, that number one, the expectation that, these electors have to be on the Indian National Congress website, I don't think that is really a very rational demand. I'll tell you why. Because why should the BJP or why should the Samajwadi Party or the TMC know who your electors are? Why should the media know who it is?
No, but then shouldn't electoral college be constitutionally constituted?
Well, let me tell you, Maria, one thing. I mean, I have also known the Congress now for a long time. I've studied its constitution. Yeah. The Congress has traditionally never disclosed who are members of electoral college on a public domain. Yes. Why should we do it now? Okay. I believe the Congress is completely justified in not doing it. They are making it accessible to who will be the Congress candidate. The second point is crucial too. I mean, everyone is aware that by September, October, the elections are going to be held. So I do believe that although these are all friends of mine and we have been part of G23 support for a while, the truth is these things should have been addressed a long time earlier if you had a problem. You can't now begin to suddenly make this into a big, hullabaloo or a point of debate. Because I don't think it really has that kind of currency at this point of time. Madhusudan Mistry is on record to say that he has done this exercise in a foolproof manner. Obviously, if it isn't, this matter could get
then have faith in Madhusudan Mistry. None of these leaders should be questioning him. If they're demanding transparency, and if the transparency doesn't really become the virtue of this entire exercise, then questions will be asked, and as Rashid is hinting, that it's heading for a long drawn legal battle as well. Tushar.
Maria, the only thing transparent with the Congress is an infinite loop they find themselves in now. every election, national or state, there is a defeat of the Congress, and even former Congress persons would agree that Rahul Gandhi is not the winning horse. It's not the electoral horse people want to bet on, to use an analogy. But the problem is the Congress is not willing to look beyond the three Gandhis. And while there might be nothing wrong in their leadership, the truth of the fact is they're not winning them elections. So there is a need for a fresh pace, a fresh perspective, more importantly, to the party affairs, to how they want to approach the elections at the ground level. That is missing for a long time. Okay. There was a Chintan shower very recently. Again, it boils down to Rahul Gandhi. We have elections in October, and more or less, again, the same story will come up that Rahul Gandhi should be elected. Rahul Gandhi doesn't want to take the post. Sonia Gandhi would be the interim chief, and the loop goes on. The problem is, for a long period of time, the Congress has drawn its principles, its ideology, its inspiration, its ideas, its philosophies from the Gandhi family, tracing back to Motilal Nehru. Now they need to look for a leader who can move to the future, who set the agenda for the future, talk India 2050 and not India 1940. Can they do that while moving away from the Gandhis? It's a very difficult bet, Maria. I give it to the Congress, it's a difficult bet. But looking at the previous years of elections, it's an important bet. They have no other option.
But then I'll take that thread and thought forward with Rashid. Rashid, if leaders who may be interested in contesting, they do not have access to the electoral roll, they do not know who are nominated, who can vote, then how will they contest? So is there an effort to make this a system which is opaque without an electoral college, only because you want to fix this election and make it about election ho gaya, but the results or the outcomes is known, who will be the party chief?
Yeah, so Maria, ignorance cannot be, a defense or anything like that. The Congress election process, whatever what it is, was started a year back. There was enrollment drive. As we understand, one has to be a primary member, then active member, and active member becomes a block member, and block members elect PCC delegates. District Congress committees elect, the AICC delegates. All these things are there. Whether it's a farce or not, this is the internal Congress matter. You cannot have election commissioners who are not part of Congress party.
But Rashid,
members.
Forget about the political opponents of the Congress. In fact, they are not even questioning the process. These questions are coming from within. Yes, insiders.
Yeah. Insiders, that's what I'm saying. Maria, I don't want to take names, but all these people have been there. They have seen they've seen Tirupati election, they have seen Calcutta election, they have seen, the Delhi election, all kind of, wherever the Congress plenary was held, and this kind of, however partial the elections were, they were held. And some of them being beneficiaries of that system. So I'm saying that one fine day you cannot get up. I mean, the politics is there. They can go to court, they can challenge it, they can do all these things. But every political party has a structure. If I ask Samajwadi Party or BJP or Akali Dal or any political party, do they have electoral role? Do they have this kind of mechanism?
Okay.
Answer is no.
Yes, okay.
So this is not in defense of Congress.